Okay, driver's side window doesn't roll up and down very well anymore. We're going to fix it. Let's dig in. All right, so what I found was at Sage Raceway, the last race I was at with the car, about the semifinals or so, I closed the door, the window fell in and hit me in the head. I was wearing a helmet, so it didn't hurt. It was startling, but it didn't hurt. So I've kind of been into this before with a couple of different cars. There's this little plastic wheelie roller thing in there that keeps the window rolling up and down true, so it stays with the body line rolling up. It also keeps it located front and rear. So when this breaks, the window goes all kinds of funny. So we're going to take the door panel off, figure out what broke, hope I brought the right part, and we're going to fix it. All right, some quick G-body door anatomy. We're going to take those two screws out. There's two screws down in there. The lock comes out. When you loosen up those two screws, the armrest comes off, and there's usually two screws holding the bottom part of the door panel into the door. And then there's all sorts of the plastic pop clips around the outside, up top. Once everything's loose, this kind of lifts off. There are a couple of pop clips that usually hide around the edges. I've had this door panel off so many times, most of them are broken. So mine comes off way easier than it's supposed to. So let me share with you something a much younger version of myself did. That probably wasn't the smartest thing in the world, but I did it, and now I have to fix it. So, in there, that little boss right there would have hardware that kind of looks like that. Except, I remember cutting the nut off that, let me find the little part, this little guy goes into. Now, that's a metric thread. That in there is a 1/4-20. So what I did is I remember breaking this before. That's the original wheel off of, that little guy. And I epoxied it to a 1/4-20 bolt and put it in place. So now that thread does not match that thread, but it matches this pile of stuff I have in my hand. So I think what I'm going to have to do is put this guy back together. I'll clean this up. I will pot it with epoxy really well. And I think I'm going to put it back into place with this repair because it lasted many years. And I think I can get many more out of it. So, don't do what I did. Don't screw it up. 2, get the right piece of hardware the first time. But I remember why I didn't do that, because that little roller piece, I couldn't find anywhere. Hence this. So now we're going to fix this. Put this back into there. I'm going to back up a little bit. So you got the 2 bolts that the window track rides in behind that. There's the track the wheel rides in. I'm going to loosen up the one on the bottom so that way I can swing it inboard, slide this guy back up, and we're going to move on with life. Here we are, the next day. The epoxy is hard and dry and cured, all those good things. We're going to put it back in there, and we're going to get this window going up like it's supposed to. All right, so we got it back in, got it reconnected. I did put the door panel back on because the remote mirror can get bound up in the window as it goes up and down. We don't want to break that. They're kind of a pain to replace, and I don't want to have to do that. So I did put a little bit of grease in the window track, both the scissor mechanism one that kind of makes an X and takes the window up and down, as well as the vertical one. You know, a little grease never hurt anything. It's just wheel bearing grease. So let's prove this is going to go up and down like it's supposed to. Now I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to put the door panel back on, and yeah, I kind of have to put the door panel back on, but since I didn't change any of the locations here or down there, because these two were originally held in place, that one wasn't going anywhere. Since I didn't change any of the alignment, everything should still be okay as it matches the body. But let's continue forward.
Harvey.
Oh, I don't mind. Alright, so the window rolls up, it meets the body line, it catches in this little clip thingy up there. We're in good shape. Now we're going to move on to other projects, but that's a video for another time. Thanks for watching, but before I continue, I'm going to go wash my hands. Sweet Bath and Body Scrubbie Bars are amazing for that. Alright, so I got the window rolled up, job's complete. It goes back into the weather stripping like it's supposed to, and ah crap. Oh well.